scoop the mud from the bottom. By the time it gets to the top, it's all through your fingers.
Let's see here.
I don't know. We'll. YouTube is allowing, you know, these female to males that are a bunch of them now.
Yeah.
These young people, girls, are getting their breasts cut off and showing their scars. They're still basically women saying that they're men, but they can show their whole breast, even if they're cut off. They can't, because they're saying they're men, they can do it. So if I say, I identify as a man now and I can show my boobs. You know what I'm saying? The hypocrisy of the whole bullshit. Ooh, I just got some in my eye, I think.
That's it. Still get mud in your eye. It hurts.
I think I did.
Need some water?
No, I just feel the wetness. I don't know if it actually went in.
Well,
Stinging.
even a little bit, well, it'll just mess with you for a while.
Some water now.
Okay, there's the wound.
Cold bugs. Trying to
Sorry about that. It never happens.
It's enough. It just went up my nose.
Okay, well, you rinse it on your eye maybe too. Okay.
Too cold up now. It's gonna. I'm gonna go nuts when you get hit with the cold water to rinse off. Or should I just let it all dry and flake off in my bed and make a big
That's what I do.
mess?
If you got an extra sheet to throw down, it'll catch it, you know.
I probably could. I have a flannel blanket I could do.
That'll show you where it stays on you too, like, cause it'll all fall off except for where.
Should it be a smooth sheet, or should it? I have you know those hospital those hospital blankets that are like white, thin,
It'll fall through that
cotton.
with the little kind of holes through it.
No, there's no holes in it. It's thicker than a sheet. It's a little. It's not really rough, but it's not as smooth as a sheet.
Not the kind that's with all the little gaps through it.
No, not those. The kind that are basic. They say hospital on them sometimes.
Okay, I kind of.
They're like, if I showed you, you'd know, because they're in hospitals everywhere.
As long as
My
it's
mom
tight
and my
weave.
grandma were nurses. My mom was a nurse at the VA hospital. She told the story she told about that place. The guys would just jump out of bed and try to fucking rape her.
Lovely.
Oh wow, should have changed. My brother was there too. He was like a male nurse, and he would have to. Well, they didn't come. They went after the women because the women are more vulnerable and men can overtake them easier.
Only the finest serve in the military.
The finest idiots.
Yeah.
Now they're starting.
I think the word soldier comes from. Soldier. Soldier what? Soul. If you'll go kill someone at someone else's order, you sold your soul. I think that's where the word came from, personally.
What is the other word too? It has like die in the ears. Well, die's in soldier.
Yeah,
So that's
soul
it.
dyer.
Soul die. It's right in the middle. It's D-I-E, right? S-O-L-D-I-E-R.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
So you know, and what does a person have to sell? Soldier. I mean, just sell soul. Soldier soul.
But some of them
I'm gonna write a song called
are
that.
starting to say, not many of them, there's still some that are like milking it for all they can get out of it. But a lot of this, some of the people that came back are saying, when they say thank you for service, they'd say, no, don't thank me for my service. It's not what you think.
Those are the decent people.
They're starting to speak up, and because they don't want them to be praising.
Not everybody that joins is a piece of shit.
Yeah, because a lot of them have guilty consciences about what they do.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
They don't want to be thanked for that. They want to forget about that. And people just keep running, oh, thank you for your service. But some of them are speaking out and saying, no, you don't thank me for killing children and women and children.
And lying about it on the news, you know.
Even if they humiliate the person, they'll get the word across, and then other people hear that, or they spread the word that I tried to thank this guy, and he just came at me.
They trauma bond them with each other. Once you do something
they get all
so
those,
shitty,
they have to get all those shots. They get
Oh, yeah.
experimented on.
Yeah.
The food they get, the same kind of food you get in jail, it says on the bag, not fit for human or animal consumption. The food they feed the soldiers and the food they feed the prisoners. Same shit. I was in there. The
There's
girls,
such a
three
discrepancy. In
three different girls that were trustees. You know what a trustee is, right?
Okay.
They told me that's what the bags say. And then I was talking to a guy telling him about that, and he goes, "That is true." He says, "I can vouch for that." He says, because he does air conditioning in the prisons. He says it's not only in the prisons, it's also in the military. And this from a guy that works in the places that he sees what it says, what it does, what.
You know, at that point too, you got to trust everything the government says. You got to believe everything they say. You know, you get paid by them, you're employed by them, you live in their
Well,
facility,
that's
they're
their
experimenting
Stockholm
on you.
syndrome, right?
You know?
Isn't that their Stockholm syndrome there?
Yeah, and if there's a war and they go do some heinous shit with a bunch of their pals, then they're the only people they can relate to, and they can't relate to normal people anymore, and they just stay in it and keep
And
doing
so
it.
it becomes sort of like a cult, right?
Totally, totally. All their symbols are cult. You know, the Purple Heart, the medals, all those medals are demonic, occult symbols. All of them.
Yeah, so some general or whatever has got a million of them.
Yeah.
That's just the more evil they are,
The more
they
flags,
have, right?
the more souls they've eaten or something. I never understood it.
Okay, I'm able to scrape off on this leg, my left side, but my right side is still too sore. I could scrape some of the biofilm buildup off it there.
It'll be like tomorrow. If this works as well on to you like it does with me, it'll be when you get up, you'll just feel more relaxed, and when
sure.
you might
Well,
start
I did
to
last
think,
time.
you might feel something.
I did the last time. I felt it. I felt really good afterwards.
I was really messed up when I was. I mean, really messed up, like almost suicidal. So.
Really?
It was, I was bleeding out of my eyebrows and my ears, and
When
my
I was
skin would
here?
just split open. No, this was
Oh.
talking like 6-7 years ago. I'll just show you that video.
I thought you were saying when I was here you were like that.
No. I mean, I was still messed up then, but it wasn't visible. It was, more under the skin only. So I was dousing myself with flammable.
My eyes are like starting to close. Like I feel like I can fall asleep.
I've fallen asleep in this thing before. If
But
you kick your feet up over the edge and put your arms on this side, you can just suspend there and it'll totally
that
float
reminds
you.
me, I gotta shut off my phone because I usually shut my phone off at 7, and my iPad at 8 o'clock, and like I do my little weed ceremony like ritual, and then I go to bed. So like in the fall I go earlier, but when they do the time change, I stay on the same time. Even though they turn the clock at hour ahead in the spring,
yeah.
I still, so even though it's saying 10 o'clock, it's still 9 o'clock, and I keep my schedule on that. I don't change it to suit them fuckers. Change, like, oh, I gotta go to bed an hour earlier or later or something like that. I'd still go to bed at the same time. It's just their time is different. Everybody adjusts their whole lot. That's done on
Mine
purpose.
varies, but I just follow the sun. When the sun comes up
so
later,
when
I
it's
sleep
dark,
in longer.
like now, it's dark. I'm usually down going to bed.
Yeah.
So
although my hours are always
harder.
swing.
It's a little harder now because it takes so long to get dark.
Like for me, I get up at 10 to 11, and I go to bed around midnight or 1, and that's generally my hours.
So now my nose is draining inside my head, my sinuses, and I'm swallowing my snot.
Blow that thing and spit it over the edge over there.
No.
The bees don't mind.
No, I don't really care about that. It's just that.
When I would get my runny nose and stuff when I was a kid, I just want to go be by myself, like just blow my nose and get it out.
This side of my nose keeps clogging up with the biofilm in there. It's like boogers, but it's biofilm. But this side, no. This side's okay.
Yeah.
So like every night I gotta deal with digging this fucking biofilm.
I see the left side's worse than the right, but
mine is the opposite. Mine's the right side, and I'm right-handed. I don't think that has anything to do with it, really.
It was weird. The thing on my chest, though, that was because it was around my heart. I notice a lot of things stem around like when I'm burning with the torch, I get a really strange smell and a lot of smoke when nothing's seen burning, but it just smokes if I'm near my heart or near my spleen or near my underarm.
And you think that's electrical or magnetic or something, or what?
I think it's toxins partly, and I think it's electrostatic. Like I'm getting static cling off of me, and there's a component of it that's physical.
Just remind me, what do you think happened when people are able to hang like spoons from they're magnetic, and they were able to put things on that their body stuck on their body. How do you explain that?
I think they're just sticky to it, maybe for some. You know, it could be electrical, but I don't think they're magnetic. Like thing. I don't think those are. I think those are fake. The ones where they're just like tink.
You know who did
No.
that? You know the first person I saw do that?
Hmm.
Your dude down in Hawaii.
No.
It's like, is
I
this
mean,
guy getting shot up with? Is he taking?
When we were kids, we would you know, you could take a spoon and get it to like stick
So
to
that
your
made
nose
me
or
really
something.
question him because of that, and I stopped following.
I mean,
it.
did he say it was from
He
magnetism?
showed it. He
Or-
didn't know
or
what it
he
was
just
from.
Stuck to it.
I think he was embarrassed after he did it, and then
Yeah,
realized.
Robert Cassar, right?
Yeah. I think he was embarrassed that he did it because it made it look like he was fucking taking the shots or doing something. I think he was embarrassed after he did it and realized, shit, I shouldn't have done that.
That's the
Like he
Earther
made
Academy.
he made him kind of made a
Makes
fool of
sense,
himself.
I've never seen any of his videos where he's like
It's in one of his videos,
Yes,
unless he
he's-
took it down. I wouldn't doubt if he took it down.
He's very professional for the most part. So,
You should go back like 10 years or however long ago when I don't think it's quite 10 years, probably maybe 8 years, 7, when he stopped being vegan and his whole body changed. He got so much healthier. He filled out.
I've heard him talk about
his
how
face
sick he
was-
was. You know, he would eat McDonald's and just whatever normal diet that people eat. And,
But then he did the vegan thing for 10 years. He did it. And then he started to finally admit that something's wrong, that this is not healthy, this is not good. And he looked bad. And then 6 months after he stopped and, changed I don't know what he did to
What is a
change.
vegan? Well, they
eat-
drink milk too or something?
No, they
Or-
don't.
so-
Vegetarians will do dairy, but vegans won't do dairy, they won't do meat, they only do vegetables.
Even fruits, maybe fruits.
Yeah, they do fruits and vegetables.
That just seems bad though. You gotta have some fats.
It's unbalanced.
you
Yeah,
know,
that's
some
why they get so
cheese
skinny.
and some-
That's why they end up looking
You know.
anorexic.
I eat a
even
lot of
what's her name
vegetables, but
did.
I eat a lot of
I
sugar
was
and a lot of
so
fat too.
I was so surprised to see her in that video where they were showing all these vegans that deteriorated and looked anorexic, and some of them died. And what's her name was in there? Shit, what's her name? You might know of her. Shit, she's black lady. She went from vegetarian, she was doing good, and then she went vegan and she went downhill. So that switch, just that, not getting any fats, not getting dairy or eggs or any of that stuff, she went down. Annette Larkins, she did really good for a while, but then I was surprised she was even doing as well as she did as a vegetarian. And then she went full on vegan. Somebody
You
call
know,
me.
some of the people too, there could be disorders that they have that they're not
She
aware
was
of even.
super
you know,
healthy
it's
though.
hard
I
to
was
say.
like so amazed that she was doing as well as she was.
One of the planes just flying along a little slow. Two of them actually. You kind of see through the trees.
Do you see the orbs? You see like the orbs
I've
that
seen
I've
orbs,
seen
but-
them, but not as much as Lisa. I think where our attention goes, we see it. You see the airplanes, you see the orbs. Some people see the chemtrails. Other
I
people
think
see
the,
like when they're focused on it. You know that guy John Graff? He's down in San Diego. He's always showing the skies and how.
I think the electrical properties of the air might make orbs more common in that region than in another region, something like that maybe too. You know, because I don't see them around here, but I've got pictures of them that I accidentally
remember
got.
when I was taking some videos and I thought I saw green orbs, but I don't know if it was some kind of something coming from my iPad or something. But I don't see them anymore. It doesn't happen. So why did it stop happening?
I don't know. Did you see my orbs? My UFO pictures, I call them, but they're of orbs. They're red and blue and white. I made a video on it.
How long ago?
A year ago or so. I could show you. Okay, well, we've got enough for a little conversation to put up there too, though. It's still going.
Did you have it on?
Yeah, it's been recording our
Oh
conversation.
wow, I didn't even know it was on.
How long has it been? 14 minutes.
of us blabbing about shit. Here goes the airplanes.
Yep.
Hear them.
It's time for the flyover.